Story 1. In a faraway land where unfamiliarity lurked, an eerie incident unfolded. It happened during my junior year of high school when an urgent call to the bathroom disrupted my day. My stomach churned violently, besieged by a dreadful ailment. Racing through the dimly lit hallway, my ears caught an unsettling whistle drifting from the other end. As I neared the restroom, the source of the sound became apparent. Someone was already inside. Though inconvenienced, I dismissed it, for I desperately needed the solitude to alleviate my imminent gastrointestinal catastrophe. Hastily, I claimed the stall and endured the unpleasantness that ensued. To my bewilderment, the unseen man remained in the bathroom, persistently whistling and humming. Despite catching only a fleeting glimpse of him, I pondered whether he was a janitor. His lingering presence marred the privacy I sought, as discomfort gnawed at me. With a mix of embarrassment and haste, I finished my ordeal and ventured out to wash my hands, avoiding eye contact with the enigmatic stranger. Anxious to return to class promptly, aware of the consequences of an extended absence, I braced myself for what happened next, a moment that shattered my composure. The janitor, having taken an unexpected interest in my direction, approached me, invading my personal space. His breath grazed the nape of my neck, sending a shiver down my spine. Helplessly, I turned to face him and uttered a baffled "what the heck, man?" A cold, emotionless expression adorned his face, soon replaced by a twisted, unsettling smile that etched itself indelibly into my memory. Troubled and puzzled, I hurried back to class, convinced that the man was unhinged. Upon returning, I confided in my friend via text, only to discover he had encountered the same janitor, an unsettling connection. Yet, we failed to follow through on reporting him to the principal, swept away by the currents of daily life. Later that day, as school ended, my friend Elias, another close companion named Peyton, and I embarked on our customary walk home. Our post-school excursions often led us to nearby eateries, parks, or other leisurely pursuits. Today, we plan to visit a beloved diner, taking the familiar trail that traversed school grounds and spilled into a neighboring neighborhood. Midway through our conversation about the creepy janitor, Peyton noticed a figure in the distance. A jolt of recognition struck him, exclaiming, "Isn't that the janitor from school?" Bewildered and fearful, we stared intently, confirming his suspicion. "Peyton, let's turn back," he urged, but I pressed on, with Elias following suit. Engulfed by trepidation, we continued forward. As we approached, the janitor fixed his gaze upon us, halting our steps. Determined, we marched past him, ignoring his presence. Yet, he shouted after us, extending an unwelcome invitation to hang out, an absurd notion given his age and position of authority. Unsettled, we quickened our pace, only to find the janitor now chasing us, brandishing a menacing knife. Panic consumed us as we screamed for help, sprinting for what felt like an eternity. Eventually, we lost sight of him, gasping for breath, our voices still echoing with desperation. The next day, we discovered the truth about the imposter. Together with our concerned parents, Elias, Peyton, and I visited the school, reporting the harrowing ordeal to the police and principal. Astonishingly, the school authorities were oblivious to the man's true identity. He was no janitor. Unbeknownst to them, he was a convicted sex offender who had been preying on minors for years. How he managed to infiltrate the school undetected was a disconcerting mystery, one that sent chills down our spines. The revelation struck a chord of urgency, emphasizing the dire need for heightened security measures within the educational system. Schools should be sanctuaries, where children can learn and grow free from the clutches of such disturbed individuals. The impostor's audacity was revealed further when we learned of the court orders he had violated, which mandated that he maintain a safe distance from children. It was evident that he harbored intentions far more sinister than mere intimidation. I shuddered at the thought of what might have transpired had we not escaped his clutches. The incident left me grappling with the incomprehensible darkness that exists in some people's minds. It was a stark reminder of the importance of vigilance and the need to protect the vulnerable from those who would seek to harm them. The scars left by this horrifying encounter ran deep, serving as a constant reminder of the fragility of our sense of security. As we collectively processed the trauma we had endured, our community rallied together. The school administration, law enforcement, and concerned parents united to address the gaps in security and ensure that such a harrowing incident would never be repeated. Stricter background checks, improved surveillance systems, and increased awareness campaigns became the cornerstones of our shared commitment to safeguarding our children. Through this dark chapter, we emerged with a renewed sense of resilience and a determination to reclaim our peace of mind. It was a harsh lesson, reminding us that evil can manifest anywhere, even in the hallowed halls of education. But in our united front, we found solace, hope, and the strength to rebuild trust and protect one another. The impostor, now apprehended and facing justice, served as a haunting reminder that darkness can lurk in the most unexpected places. May this chilling encounter serve as a testament to the unwavering resilience of our community, and a catalyst for change, ensuring the safety and well-being of future generations within the school's sheltered walls. Story 2. It was just another typical day at school, and I found myself in the midst of 10th grade. The incident I'm about to recount happened shortly after our third hour class. During lunchtime, my friends and I engaged in our usual shenanigans, goofing off and enjoying our brief moments of freedom. We devour our meals in a mere 5 minutes, dedicating the remaining time to playing games and engaging in various pranks. Halfway through our lunch break, the POW system abruptly crackled to life, emanating an urgent announcement that sent shivers down our spines. The voice on the intercom instructed us to initiate an emergency lockdown, and the gravity of the situation was palpable. It was not a drill, this was the real deal. Mr. Harrison, the principal, sounded genuinely panicked as he conveyed the message, further intensifying our unease. Despite the seriousness of the situation, some of my friends dismissed Mr. Harrison's urgency as part of his theatrical nature. However, a sense of foreboding gripped me, and I couldn't shake off the feeling that something was amiss. Perhaps it was the fear of the unknown or a momentary lapse in judgment. But when the school's power abruptly shut off, my friends thought it would be amusing to sneak out of the cafeteria through a side entrance that led to the upper floors. Against my better judgment, I decided to join them, driven by an inexplicable mix of curiosity and peer pressure. Once we ventured into the dimly lit hallways, my friends and I dispersed, each pair embarking on their own explorations. At that moment, it was only Andrew and I who continued our escapade while the others vanished into different corners of the school. The darkness enveloped us, rendering visibility scarce. Our only source of light was the feeble illumination filtering through the cloudy day's gloom. The silence was shattered by an eruption of gunshots, each sound echoing with a chilling resonance. Panic washed over Andrew and me, propelling us into a frenzied sprint towards the school's exit. Fortunate to be near the main entrance, we hastily darted outside, our hearts pounding in our chests. We instinctively sought refuge behind the school, navigating our way through the dense woods beyond. The soccer field loomed before us, and with trepidation, we made our way across it, silently praying not to be detected by the authorities or anyone associated with the chaos unfolding inside. The blaring sirens grew louder, a cacophony that underscored the urgency of the situation. While we knew the police were there to apprehend the shooter responsible for the gunfire, we couldn't help but feel paranoid that they might consider us delinquents evading the lockdown. The weight of our actions and the potential consequences loomed heavily over us. Fear and anxiety coursed through our veins as we huddled together, attempting to calm one another amidst the tumultuous storm of emotions. We were determined not to be mistaken for the assailant, desperate to dissociate ourselves from the psychotic individual who had fired those shots. Unbeknownst to us, the police were focused solely on capturing the genuine suspect and had no knowledge of our unauthorized absence. However, we chose to err on the side of caution, prolonging our concealment. Eventually, our luck ran out as the police conducted a thorough sweep of the premises, and we were discovered. The police swiftly apprehended us, their stern demeanor leaving no room for negotiation. It was only after we explained our impulsive decision to hide that they realized we were not involved in the shooter's motives. The culprit turned out to be a student from a completely different school, just a year younger than me. Fortunately, no one had been injured during the incident. The young individual who had fired the gunshots claimed that he intended to harm a specific girl, but his plan had been thwarted. Strangely enough, I couldn't help but notice the uncanny resemblance between him and me. We shared the same height, hair color, and even dressed similarly on that fateful day. It was an eerie coincidence, but the police quickly dismissed any connection between us once we provided a detailed account of our actions. That day served as a stark reminder of the consequences that can arise from making impulsive decisions. I learned a valuable lesson about the importance of adhering to safety protocols, especially during emergencies. The gravity of the situation weighed heavily on me, and I vowed never to underestimate the potential dangers lurking in our seemingly ordinary lives. The incident also led to a broader reflection on the significance of school safety and the measures put in place to protect students. It prompted discussions about improving security protocols, conducting regular drills, and raising awareness among students and staff members. The community rallied together, emphasizing the need for vigilance and fostering an environment where everyone feels safe and secure. In the aftermath of this chilling experience, I emerged with a newfound appreciation for the value of personal safety and the importance of following procedures. I shared my story with others, urging them to learn from my mistakes and prioritize their well-being. It served as a catalyst for change within the school community as we collectively worked towards creating a safer environment for all. While the scars of that day may never fully fade, it serves as a constant reminder of the fragility of life and the significance of preparedness. I am grateful that no harm came to anyone, but I remain haunted by the close call and the profound impact it had on my perspective. Story 3. This chilling incident unfolded on the final day of my high school journey. As a senior, I was filled with excitement and relief, knowing that once this day was over, my high school years would come to a close. However, amidst the anticipation, a tinge of sadness lingered in the air. The realization that I would be leaving behind cherished friends and embarking on a new chapter in college weighed on my heart. That particular day, I found myself in a dismal mood due to unsettling family issues unfolding at home. Fifth hour arrived, and I begrudgingly made my way to biology class. The subject itself didn't bother me, but the teacher, Mr. Johnson, made it an unbearable experience. He was notorious for his mistreatment of students, engaging in shouting matches and even breaking a student's phone. I had personally been threatened by him in front of the entire class. Although I had no desire to attend his class that day, I decided to skip it altogether. Seeking solace from the chaos, I took refuge in the library, planning to lay low until 6th hour. Hidden among the computer section, I pretended to do schoolwork while secretly engrossed in games on my phone. Little did I know that this peaceful facade would soon crumble. Out of nowhere, the school intercom blared, announcing a lockdown. Though initially assuming it to be a routine drill, the distant sounds of muffled screaming down the hallway quickly shattered that illusion. Reality sunk in as I realized we were facing an actual threat. Panic gripped me, and I hastily sought shelter within the library, crouching beneath the computer desks, hoping it would provide some semblance of protection. Time stretched agonizingly as I waited for the intercom to declare the end of the lockdown. But the announcement never came. For what felt like an eternity, fear consumed me as I lay there, clutching my phone tightly. Eventually, curiosity got the better of me, and I checked my messages to find a flood of texts from my biology classmates, warning me that this was not a drill but a genuine emergency. My heart sank as I responded, assuring them of my safety while disclosing my whereabouts in the library. The eerie emptiness of the library, devoid of teachers or students when I first arrived, intensified my fear of being alone in this dire situation. Yet, there was nothing I could do except hope for the ordeal to end swiftly. However, my respite was short-lived. The silence was shattered by the sound of footsteps running down the hall, and dread took hold of me. The library door swung open, and a figure entered. With bated breath, I peered out from beneath the desk, catching a glimpse of a dark, shadowy figure roughly my height. As a flashlight pierced the darkness, my heart raced with terror. Summoning every ounce of courage, I emerged from my hiding place, attempting to defuse the situation. "Tyler, what the hell are you doing?" I exclaimed. To my shock, it was Tyler, a close friend from middle school with whom I had drifted apart in high school. His tearful eyes met mine as he brandished a gun, his emotions unraveling before me. Taking control of the situation, I pleaded with Tyler to lower the weapon, emphasizing the importance of making amends and seeking help. Together, we walked toward the office, where a teacher guided us to the waiting police. As a witness, I provided a detailed account of the events, while Tyler cooperated fully. It was a stroke of luck that he had found me, as I had been one of the few friends he believed he had left. I shudder to think what might have happened if he had encountered someone else. Truth be told, Tyler's troubled past of enduring relentless bullying in a tumultuous home life, coupled with his underlying mental health struggles, provided some understanding, though not justification, for his horrifying actions. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the urgent need to raise awareness and take collective action to prevent such acts of violence, particularly within the context of school shootings. While I may harbor personal resentment towards Tyler for his choices, it is crucial to acknowledge the deeper societal issues at play. We must strive to create an environment that fosters empathy, support, and early intervention for individuals grappling with mental health challenges. It is truly disheartening and unsettling that some individuals are capable of perpetrating such acts of terror. The magnitude of their actions is beyond comprehension. As a society, we must come together and implement measures to identify warning signs, provide accessible mental health resources, and foster a culture of inclusivity and kindness, ensuring that no one is pushed to the brink of such darkness. In the aftermath of that harrowing day, I learned a valuable lesson about the importance of empathy and understanding. It is crucial to look beyond our immediate circumstances and extend compassion to those who may be silently struggling. By doing so, we can hope to prevent future tragedies and create a safer, more supportive world for all.